you cover a lot of news, and naturally when people cover news, they're going to get hated on, in my opinion, because if you cover news of someone that they like and it happens to be a negative story, not necessarily because it's even your opinion, it's just a negative story, they're going to hate on you for it. What is the story that you covered that generated the most hate for you that you can remember anyway?
This is an easy one. iShowSpeed's clip in Valorant was probably a defining day for me when I posted that on Twitter.
I remember.
I've never seen those levels of hate before.
Mm-hmm.
That was literally, that changed everything. Those next 48 hours were life changing, man. That's definitely something I can look back on, and I think I kind of got lost in it. I mean, I wouldn't say I like necessarily regret the moment because, with the clip and all, like I don't think it was necessarily. It was a tough situation because shortly after that he got banned for I think a few days on YouTube, and people thought he was permanently suspended on YouTube.
Yeah, and
so of course naturally that falls back on me, and I never asked YouTube to do that. I didn't want them to do that. So that was like a moment where I really realized, holy frick, like I didn't mean for it to be that kind of moment, right? Like I didn't want to affect him in that way. And hey, by the way, checking back in, he has been blowing up for years and years now. Let's get that straight. But after that week, he blew up even tremendously. Yeah, and great for he was going to blow up no matter what, right? But that was a great week for him. That was not a great week for me. So to show you how that situation went, do I regret it? Probably not. I think I could have worded it a lot better. But that was just an eye-opening moment for me where I think I kind of just got lost in it of like, all right, man, you don't got to say or tweet every clip that you see. But I'll tell you what, the DMs I saw, I mean, when you want to talk about a guy who is on top of the world, that being Speed, and has a fan base that you cannot comprehend the DMs that I got. I've gotten a lot of hate over the past decade, and there is still nothing compared to that 48 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were looking up my high school classmates, DMing them on Instagram. These guys were posting my parents' address online. Obviously, death threats on death threats are fine, but like the other stuff is like, come on.
Yeah.
But that's a level of fandom that I've never intertwined with. I'm covering esports and streamers. Speed is a whole different level. So, the only big regret I have is that I travel a lot, and I would hate to ever meet Speed and have that moment be like an awkward in-between, right? I would like to think that we both, especially me, have grown past that moment. Like, I don't hold any ill will towards the guy based off one Valorant clip, but I wish that situation went differently for sure. And I hope that properly explains it. That was terrible time.
No, that was perfect. I have a personal opinion, but I think you and Speed squashed the beef though, right? Like shortly after that, did you guys
never really know. He eventually, I think if I remember correctly, he eventually like apologized on Twitter and like added both me and Team YouTube, but like he shouldn't have had to apologize to me like that.
Sure.
Like I felt even more bad after that. Like I think we're fine. But I hope we're fine because that was a moment so long ago. But like I said, like the biggest thing for me is like I don't want to meet people and have them, the creators specifically, and have them be like, oh, that's the guy that covered my Valorant clip, because I've covered a lot of the Speed things since then. Yeah. So I think it's squashed. I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, and the thing is, like, at the end of the day, you're just the reporter. It's not like you made up the clip and put it online. Like, you're just reporting things that you think are newsworthy, and that's, essentially your job. So, obviously his fans are going to get really mad at that if it portrays him in a negative light. But at the end of the day, I don't think you did anything wrong there. I think you're just doing your job. And this isn't about Speed specifically, and this is my own opinion, not Jake, so do not attack him. But in my opinion, like if someone's doing something intentionally for views so they can grow their brand, whether it's your brand is you take outrageous takes, or you're a rage gamer, or you pretend you're cheating so that people will tweet about it and you're growing your brand that way. If someone then comes after you later on and says, oh, aren't you that cheater? And you're like, oh, you're such an idiot, that was just a branding gimmick. Or if someone says like, oh, hey, I remember you from this, it's like, it's weird for them to get mad about that, because it was calculated intentionally. Like, you know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say is they're doing it on purpose to grow their brand. So to then come back and get mad at someone for reporting what they were doing on purpose is weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could probably agree with you, but I'm biased, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
Are you talking about Nadia saying that she was
I'm not, no.
Call of Duty? Is that what you're referencing right now, Mimosa?
You're going to get me attacked. But no, I mean, yeah, but Nadia is an example where like she intentionally played into the I am a cheater thing. And that grew her brand tremendously. And so, you know, now potentially with this game brand deal, there was a kind of a falling out where so many people tweeted at this game that Nadia's a cheater. You know, they only knew the story where she was playing into it, that she's a cheater. They didn't necessarily see actually, she's not a cheater. It was just kind of a branding gimmick. So it's hard to blame those people too. I don't know. It's complicated.
No, I think that's actually a fair example though, because even back at that time, I was of the same mindset of like, okay, this is going to get you highlighted for a week. Mm-hmm. Is this really worth doing? Knowing the audience that you are playing into, they are going to hold this over your head for the rest of time.
Some people would say the cheating audience is the most passionate audience of all time.
Like, what did you expect? What did you expect to happen? That audience to forget about it? Now, should they have chased her to a brand new game? No, they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and there's many examples like that. It's a weird time though, and I think you have there's definitely some sliver of truth there because we live in a time of clip farming, right? And you could argue, I played right into the vehicle of those Speed at the time when Speed was gaming. There was a lot of rage clips, right? Mm-hmm. And there were people being terrible to him. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But he was playing in, like, those are the things that are going to get clipped. Obviously, him calling the girl like a dishwasher or vice versa, whatever happens to him, is going to get clipped. And unfortunately, I chose criticizing wording about that clip, and the clip went viral. And then YouTube stepped in. And so naturally, of course, I'm going to be somewhat to blame, right? So there's so many different sides to play with it, but we live in an era with so much clip farming. I don't know what's right and wrong anymore, Mimosa. I don't know what the frick to do anymore.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, someone has to report the news. So if someone sends you a clip or you see a clip and it is something that's going to go viral or be newsworthy, I just think it's your job to post it. You know, you don't necessarily have to give any opinion on it one way or another, but you have to at least, you don't have to do anything, but it's your job to post it kind of. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're an esports news reporter, or not reporter, sorry. Just an
No, reporter works.
Reporter, perfect. Not journalist. Reporter.
But then you want to really dive into it?
Yeah,
if you don't give your opinion, you're a soft mother fricker. And then if you do give your opinion, you divide your audience and one half is going to hate you. Yeah. So what lane do you decide to go down? Because when you have done this for 7 years and you've covered 5,000 stories, eventually you're going to have a story that is so stupid that you're going to take a side because you're like, this is obvious, right?
Right.
And then you're going to realize, oh no, you just split the divide. And then you have an opinion on everything. And I've never agreed with the notion that like a reporter or a talking head or a news source can't have an opinion. You can have an opinion as long as you're civil and open to both sides. But once you open that opinion up, like, dude, people hate on everyone nowadays. So I think it's kind of industry standard.
I mean, and yeah, you're a personality as well. We've already talked about that as being one of the alluring aspects of the way you report news. So giving your opinion is not a negative either. And if people don't like that and they don't like your personality, then, you know, they just probably wouldn't be following you.
If people really, really watch, I don't care about most things. Like, you give it 12 hours, I'm pretty much over it. I'm not holding anything against anyone, and I don't really have harsh takes. Like, if you actually like watch me or know me, to think that I'm like sitting in bed thinking about how much I hate some person for what they did drama-wise, like, I don't care. It's on to the next day. Something else is going to happen. So I wish people would realize that more. Like, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky, pretty laid-back guy. And once the next day hits, the prior day don't matter.
Thank you guys so much for watching this clip from Mimosa Brunch. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. And if you want to watch the full interview, just click right here.